Morning everyone. So let's talk about how you can trail a stop loss. You can use this to safeguard your profits if you think the market is showing signs of volatility when you're in a trade. You can also use this to increase your profits in each trade that you make, let the profits run longer, and it's good if the price has nearly reached your target and you're worrying that it's not quite going to get there, but you want to allow scope for the price to still go up with you know, safeguarding the profit that you've already made. This is a really good way of safeguarding those profits while you're still keeping your trade open and allowing the opportunity for it to grow further. So how do you trail a stop loss? I'm going to show you how to do this manually. I like to do this manually because I just like to have control over what's going on my trades. So as you can see here, I'm on the US 500. So you can trail a stop by placing the stop underneath an area of support that the price has found. So the area of support could be any type of support. So if you think about it, it could be a candle, it could be a general support resistance level like these ones. So let's say you want to trail a stop quite tightly. Let's say, for example, you've got profit on the table, you're worried the price might go down and you'll lose everything that you've got already, and it's near your target, but you also think there's a possibility it's going to keep going up. In that scenario, it might be good for you to trail a stop very closely. So the way I would trail a stop closely is look at the candles. So for example, let's say we were here on this green candle. Let me just zoom in a bit. Let's say we were here on one of these candles and you've got some profit on the table and you think it might keep going up, but it's bumped on this level and it's kind of, you're not sure whether it's just going to start coming down. Imagine if the chart looked like this. It's gone up and it could keep going up there, but it might also bump down and you're going to lose the profit that you made. So in that kind of scenario, I'd probably look at the latest low, so in terms of the candle. So you've got a red one there and a red one there. If you were to place a stop under here, a trailing stop loss, you can see the price did dip back down, but it didn't quite touch where your stop's going to go. You know, you have to leave a little bit of space, make it quite tight, but leave a bit of space, and then the price did actually carry on going up. So that's one way you could do it. If you wanted to ride long trends, you do the same thing, but just with the peaks and troughs of the actual trend. So for example, you know, there's a diagonal trend line forming here. Let me see, what have I done here? I'm just going to get rid of this. Let me just zoom out so I can think about this. I'll explain it. There's definitely one there. It's here. Thought there was. So there's a trend line here that you can see. It's going up for ages. So let's say you got in down here after the price popped back up over the EMA. You got in here and you could take your profit here, but actually you've decided you want to see how far this is going to go. So, you know, the amount of profit that you might make in that scenario, if you let it go all the way up here, is like 25%. Let's say you want to trail it right up there. Once you start seeing this trend forming, so you could put a stop somewhere. Until you start seeing the trend forming, you put a trailing stop somewhere that you think is appropriate at the time. So imagine we were here. It's popped up, you've got into your trade, it started going up, it's near the next resistance level. You know, you could put a stop here first. And then, as it turns out, this starts to form now there's another bottom here starting to form a diagonal support here. So you might, what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing this pattern form. Touched it there, touched it there. So if you've got your stop here and then it bounced here, you might move your stop from there to there underneath the diagonal trend. Then see if it happens again. It kind of did, but it didn't quite touch the line nicely. Maybe we could make it a better fit like this, but no one's going to have the perfect answer to this stuff. And in any event, you know, if your stop was here and then it went up again, you're going to have your trend line drawn here. So if your stop, you'd move it, you know, underneath the trend line and you'd be safe. You'd still be in the trade, you'd still be making profit. Then move it again. It's gone up again, move it under here. So this is how you could move your stop to capture longer trends. So I hope you found this helpful. That's the way I would do it. I tend to, depending on how tight I want to make my stop, I would do it either with the candles or with the support and resistance or the trend lines. You can do step ups. It doesn't have to be horizontal trends. It doesn't have to be a horizontal movement. It can be steps. So for example, this chart is actually very cluttered. I'm just going to get rid of some of this. I recently changed my colours to white because I went away from using light mode. So I just want to get rid of some of the clutter. Right. So you could do horizontal movements. This is actually a better fit here. So let's say the price has moved up here. You could start trailing the stop underneath this resistance area here, because it now, what was a resistance is now going to become a support. So you put your stop under here. Actually, this one would have been smashed out because it went right down, so it's probably not a good example, but still, you know, that it would have gone up into that level and you probably would have taken your profit here, which is, you know, a good place to take profit anyway for that previous trade, but you would have got stopped out in trailing your stop. But, you know, this can happen with other places. I'm just trying to find one for you. So there's a horizontal level here as well. So imagine you've got in here, you've got a nice bit of profit on the table here, but you want to see if it keeps going. You can put your stop under this horizontal level and then it bumps through this, goes up, comes down, touches the new support. Your stop's still under here, then it goes up again. So at the moment you'd still be waiting in that trade to see if it's going to push up and make another level. And you can bump your stop loss up like this, one level after the next. So hope you found this helpful. Perhaps if you did, you could give me a thumbs up. It really helped my channel to grow. And thank you for all your likes, shares and subscribes. I really do appreciate it. If you want a discount to the trading software that I use, I'm with TradingView, you can get that linked below. And you'll also find a link to my blog where I've got lots of helpful tips for new traders to get started there. So thanks a lot guys, bye.